Hi, I'm Marta Benavides. It's time for Socialife. Coming up, COVID is causing delays in the Hidalgo County Court System. We're sitting down with Administrative Judge Noe Gonzalez about the impact it's having on our legal system and how it's being addressed at this time. Ever dreamt of inviting the Valley Symphony Orchestra into your home for a private concert? Our friends from VSO are here and they are ready to perform. Plus, a veggie traditionally used as a side dish is taking center stage. So don't miss out. We'll be right back with more Socialife.
Support. Some call it the foundation of success. Joining the V Club assists in the success of our student athletes. Preparing our student athletes for excellence in life.
You've waited long enough. Now let us wait on you at the Santa Fe Steakhouse and Cantina. Experience an enchanting escape where our creative chefs, attentive staff, 600 wine selection, delicious cocktails, and live music, award-winning steak and seafood are all designed for a very special guest. You. Claim your steak at the Santa Fe Steakhouse and Cantina in McAllen.
It's an honor to be here with you, South Texas and Socialife. I know we're going through some very complicated times in our recent history, but we are going to make it through this. We need to be safe. We need to take care of each other as a community. We need to wear our mask when in public, wash our hands often, keep our distance, and stay home when we can. Our future is as bright as our faith, and together we will be fine. Assure you that we will get through this and we will see better days ahead of us. Let's do it together. And Martha, it's all yours.
Thank you so much, Congressman Gonzalez, for those encouraging words. This crisis isn't just affecting our health, it's affecting how the wheels of justice are moving in the Hidalgo County Court System. And here to explain how is Administrative Judge Noe Gonzalez, who also happens to be the 370th State District Judge. It is so wonderful to have you on the show today. Welcome, Judge Gonzalez.
Thank you, Marta. I hadn't seen you in a long while, and I appreciate you seeking out this information. I think it is important for the community to understand what is going on over here at the courthouse. It affects them every day.
Absolutely. I want to first, I want to define what administrative judge means.
Well, the local administrative presiding judge is actually selected by the fellow judges, the district court judges of the county of Hidalgo. And all the district judges in the county of Hidalgo actually have the same jurisdiction territory-wise. It's the county of Hidalgo. But there are less than 500 district judges in the state of Texas. And each district belongs to a particular county or area, and the local administrative judge is the one that handles the meetings, and during the pandemic has been responsible for setting up plans and directing the other judges in the county on how to deal with jury trials or in-person hearings and things of that type.
Are things at a standstill right now? I mean, how are you operating virtually? Absolutely
the same as we have always, except we do not have people showing up in person. On occasion, we do have people that do not have the technology and they will show up at our doorsteps, lack of a better term, and we have made arrangements. For example, out in the foyer in our area, in our courtroom, we have a laptop available for them. My staff will go out there with their masks and they will set up the laptop for the individual because they're unable to meet with us virtually. So that's done. But the courthouse is like a cavern right now. There is nothing. Things echo in the hallways. but the district clerk's office is working, the county clerk's office is working, tax office is working. All the county departments are working nonstop, and every single court is working, but they're working via video through, we use Zoom. There are other programs that are used, but we're in the county using Zoom. And through technology, we're able to carry on a lot of what we've done in the past, except for jury trials.
How is this being received, Judge, by members of the family of law, so to speak, your brothers and sisters, your colleagues? How is this news being received by them?
Well, they're getting used to it now. And it's sad to say that you get used to a plan that was really meant to be temporary, but become much more than temporary. I mean, it's been 6 months already. The state of Texas was from the beginning at the forefront of making sure that the judicial system was alive and well. No courthouses were shut down. A lot of people thought that the courthouse was shut down, we put locks on it. No. In fact, even today, you can walk into the courthouse and they'll take your temperature and they'll ask you some questions. And if you're vetted and you appear to be safe to let in, you're let into the building and you can carry on your business at the courthouse. But we are not, as judges, being allowed to have live hearings unless they're pre-approved by either the local administrative judge, the regional judges, or OCA and the Supreme Court. So we are limited, but believe me, the legal community is alive and well. They're moving forward. As much as some people hate it because they don't have that eye-to-eye contact live, they're getting used to it. We just have to live with it.
What kind of impact do you believe it really is having?
I know that initially, for example, there was a drastic drop in filings of lawsuits and what have you, but that's already stabilized. What is not stabilized is the disposition of cases. Anything that requires a jury it's not happened.
Right.
Unless you waive your right to a jury, and it's very difficult in criminal cases to do that. Or on civil cases, it's, if you want a jury, you just can't do it. So, I was looking at some of the numbers, for example, in district court numbers, you're talking jury trials in the state of Texas of over, I'm looking at the numbers right now, 3, 4, maybe 5,000, maybe a little less than 5,000 jury trials a year. Well, for the past 6 months, that hasn't happened. So just do the numbers. You're gonna fall behind dramatically if things don't happen. Now, I will give a shout out to the Sheriff's Department, first and foremost. They jumped on board on doing things through video, so we're able to communicate with the jail easily. I give a shout out to the DA's office. Ricardo Rodriguez has been working hand in hand with the courts to help us move cases along. I know that some people thought that, well, we're letting all these criminals go,
right,
so that the jails are not overcrowded. That never happened. The cases that were being resolved by the lowering of bonds were cases that were low-level crimes, nonviolent crimes, cases that certainly, if you looked at them closer, were easily approvable by the DA's office, and they approved them. In addition to that, the recommendations on cases, obviously when they're sitting in jail for 6 months, starts to soften up, but only on non-violent offenses. These people don't want to go to prison and they want to insist on a jury trial. Well, they're getting jury trials, but when we're able to do them.
Right.
And so the dockets have been hurt dramatically. I know the numbers, when all this is said and done, are going to look bad, but we'll catch up. We'll catch up. The courts are working to move as much as we can forward, but our hands are tied, and all we can do is what we're allowed to do safely and in a healthy fashion so that the community doesn't suffer as a consequence of us trying just to push too hard.
Of course. In terms of those numbers, what are we talking about, Judge?
Well, let's take a normal year. If a trial court is trying, you normally, and I'm talking about the district courts, the county courts may try more than one case a week because their cases take a shorter amount of time to try. But let's say a district court case takes a week to try. Well, if you've already talked about, 6 times 4, you're talking 25, 26 weeks already. You're talking a minimum of, let's say, 15 to 20 jury trials that are backed up. That's not to mention the ones that are already normally backed up because you only have one set of eyes, one courtroom per court. And so you can only try one case at a time. So let's say you tried, and this is a hardworking court that I'm describing in my mind. If you were to try 15, 20 cases a year, that's not going to happen this year. And so you're backed up even further.
For those asking when, I guess, what is your response?
The state has basically told us October 1st is no earlier than October 1st can we have a jury trial. Today, in fact, I was just reviewing the jury trials during the COVID-19 pandemic is the name of the report that was issued by OCA. David Slayton is the administrative director of the Office of Court Administration for the state of Texas. And it's basically observations and recommendations. And they're already saying, okay, starting October 1st, we've got these recommendations for jury trials. But I'll tell you, Hidalgo County, because of our numbers, I went to the judges just about a week ago and asked them to agree with me that we would not entertain a jury trial until December 1. And realistically, I don't anticipate, unless it's pre-approved in a special case, I don't anticipate jury trials starting this year. I just don't. Some of the other judges feel differently. They think that maybe we can get something in. I'm very concerned about the numbers, and I'm concerned that we went from counting infections to counting deaths as a gauge. And that's not only sad, but it's a sign of how bad it got. And our numbers are now stabilized, and I'm hoping, or I should say stabilizing, but I'm hoping that people don't take that to mean that, okay, we're good and we can move forward. We have 2 things coming up, several things coming up, but the immediate one is Labor Day. We'll see how that goes. The last time we had an extended weekend, the numbers looked terrible afterwards. We also have school. I know that a lot of the schools are virtual, most of them are, but the schools are all actually talking about having their students go in a matter of weeks. I'm hoping, and with all due respect to those that don't believe in what I'm about to say, I'm praying that people don't just jump on the bandwagon because somebody says that we're good to go, let's go, that they go hand in hand and decide that they're going to go out into the community and make the same mistake again. I do believe that it was a mistake, but we all learned along the way.
Sure. What is your hope that our audience and even members of our legal community will take away from this conversation that we're having right now, Judge?
The one thing that I will tell you, and I'm a guy that says the glass is half full. I have taken this pandemic as many have seen it, as an opportunity to reinforce kinship, reinforce family. And I truly believe that. I think families have gotten closer. I think that the legal community has seen itself get closer. There's better communication between lawyers. They've been forced to. I was joking with a lawyer the other day. I said, my Lord, you actually are using the telephone again. And it's amazing to me that for quite some time, communications were relegated to some of the coldest communications you can think of, which is emails. Everybody was emailing each other. And I sent them an email. Well, did you pick up the phone? Well, I sent them an email.
Right.
And now I think that all those things are becoming much, much easier to recognize. The value of the kinship and the camaraderie that comes with family. And I consider the legal community a family. Just like in your line of business, you have friendships that strengthen unfortunately, because of things like this. And then those of us that have older children, although we feel more and we can't get close to them, we feel closer because we miss them. I have 80-year-old parents. I see them from afar. Once in a while that I get a chance to go look at them, and I'm very, very hesitant. It's just difficult for me. I'm very close to my mother, and I haven't been able to be as close to her as I've always been because of this. And I think that in and of itself causes the community to be closer. We have more in common. We realize one thing: we can all hurt, we can all miss, and we can all get sick, and we can all suffer as a consequence.
I want to thank you so much. I know that you grew up very close. You mentioned near the courthouse. And I guess, did you imagine that you would take on this role later in life when you would walk by the courthouse judge?
No, absolutely not. In fact, we had a different mindset. Although our parents pushed us to do more, we didn't develop some of those things. I developed it at age 15. I started college when I was 15. So when I was 15, I had already decided what I wanted to do. And that wasn't common, but when I was a child, that was a building you didn't want to be in. And now it's my second home, although many of the people around me think it's my first home. During the pandemic, I have been here every day, sometimes even on weekends, unfortunately, when we had things develop to prepare for the following week. But I do want to stress, Marta, that the judges have been working very hard in a different manner, but they've been working very hard. And the numbers and what's gonna be left after this pandemic, we'll deal with. We'll deal with it. It's just a matter of making sure that people understand that the reason we're dealing with it the way we're dealing with it right now is to make sure that the community is safe, but that we continue to do our job at the courthouse for them.
Thank you for giving us a better understanding of the situation from your perspective. I just appreciate you taking the time to explain this to us. And I would love to grab my mug to toast with you today.
And you know what? They told me about the mug, and for some reason they put it in my office.
And it disappeared?
It disappeared.
You know what? Fist bumps work so beautifully as well. So I want to toast to you, just trying to get things moving, in the safest way possible. And just salute to you and the work that you're doing as a leader in our community, as a pillar in our community. It's great to see you again. I wish you and your beautiful family health, and I hope to be able to have more conversations with you in the future.
Likewise, Marta. And let me tell you, I really appreciate these types of programs. I know that Socialife has done a lot for the community, and I really appreciate this type of interaction, so that the public that you serve gets the information that they need. Sometimes that's even tastier than a cup of coffee. It certainly gives them more comfort sometimes. So thank you, Marta.
Thank you again. Not everyone's going to agree with everything that's said, but hopefully they have a better understanding, and the fact that we can have these types of conversations, these healthy conversations, is a beautiful thing, Judge. Thank you for that opportunity.
Thank you, Marta.
And still ahead, for the love of music. Yes, it has the power to take us everywhere. We're going to talk to our wonderful friends from the Valley Symphony Orchestra when we come back.
We give 100%. We do whatever it takes. We sweat the small stuff. Every day, every hour, for 20 years. To ensure that every child in every community we serve has a chance to succeed, compete, thrive. This is just the beginning.
Rio Bank would like to take this opportunity to tip our hats to all the hard-working folks in the farming and ranching business. Your jobs can be really tough, but getting an ag loan shouldn't be. Rio Bank offers agriculture loans that are here to help you make your job a little easier. From farmland to cattle, we've got your back. Come speak to a Rio Bank representative today to get the ag loan you need to keep growing. Rio Bank, your kind of bank, your kind of banker.
Heroes work here. Heroes dedicated to our patients, our community, our future. We've always been here when you needed us most. We're here for you now. Safe, trusted, ready. South Texas Health System. Your system, your care.
Music has the ability to move us in so many special ways, and it has the ability to take us to so many different special places. And that's the best way that I can personally describe the Valley Symphony Orchestra. And I'm so honored to welcome our friends, Director Miss Katy Coy and Conductor Mr. Peter Dabrowski to Socialife. Welcome, and thank you all so much for joining us. Music, it really has the power to take us to these places, as I just mentioned. Why is it such an important time for music right now, Ms. Coy?
Yeah, well, why is it an important time for music right now? Because we have all been in some form of isolation for so many months, right? I mean, it's live performances are some of the most risky things that could happen right now. So we just can't do them. But with music the way that we are intending to deliver it this year, that's something that can provide us with a shared connection, a sense of hope. Music has never been more important than in tough times, in times when we need to elevate ourselves beyond what's right in front of us, beyond our current circumstances, to something more hopeful and beautiful than day-to-day life.
Mr. Dabrowski, I've watched so many of your performances. I just want you to know that I have thoroughly enjoyed every piece. I have to ask you, as a member of your audience, I know how I feel. I close my eyes and it's just beautiful. The power that you have and the group of talented musicians. But I want to know how you feel when you're conducting, when you're up there and conducting for your audience, Mr. Dabrowski.
Well, thank you very much for this very nice compliment, and thank you for listening and being at the concert. I feel similarly to you when in the middle of performance, I'm being transformed to a different level of consciousness. I forget about the whole world, and I'm becoming a medium between the composer and the listeners. And for me, it's a very special state. It's like freeing yourself from everything which surrounds you and letting yourself to music.
And it is truly an incredible experience that I want everybody to experience the Valley Symphony Orchestra. Ms. Coy, I know you're getting ready to kick off this season, but where do we sign up? Because it's being done a little differently this time around.
That's right. You know, we are fully live at valleyorchestra.org with information about our fall season. So we haven't made any decisions about the spring yet, but for the fall, we have a fully digital delivered season. It'll start next week with our fundraiser, our big kickoff celebration on September 10th. We're going to do a day, we're going to turn Facebook into the concert hall, and we're going to have musical performances from our musicians all day long, some special guests, some prizes, and then a beautiful evening performance by Brendan and Shoko Kinsella, a husband and wife piano duo. So that's our big kickoff event next week. And then we have 3 more concerts over the course of the fall. We're going to give everyone a tour of the whole orchestra. Even though they're small ensembles, the whole orchestra will be represented in those concerts. And we're gonna keep making music, and it's going all online in these beautiful, high energy, just really inspiring musical productions. We're so excited.
How exciting. And speaking of those productions, Mr. Dabrowski, what can we look forward to? Can you talk a little bit about the performances?
Yes, the first one, as Katy Coy mentioned, is going to feature piano duet, and we are going to hear 2 exceptional pianists. I don't know if everybody knows that this year we are celebrating 250th anniversary of the birth of Ludwig van Beethoven, one of the greatest composers of all times. And
yes.
We wanted to acknowledge this because he's truly inspirational, not only with his music, but also with his life. A lot of people know that he was losing his hearing, yet it didn't stop him from composing. And challenging situation, nevertheless, the Beethoven, with his will of composing and facing the adversity and conquering this, ultimately, it's a truly inspiration, especially for times like now, for all of us. So Brendan Kinsella is going to play fantastic, very whimsical, classically oriented, yet fully romantic short sonata by Beethoven. But then his wife, Shoko Kinsella, is going to deliver most beautiful waltz, which is called Old Vienna, which was composed over 100 years ago by a piano virtuoso, Dabrowski. So she's going to take us to a really nice sentimental times with a beautiful sound. And at the end, both of them are going to finish the program playing 4 hands together on one piano. Imagine this. So husband and wife piano duet performing together on the piano, 4 hands. They are going to be playing music of Harold Arlen, the Wizard of Oz.
Oh, how beautiful. I don't want to imagine it, Mr. Dabrowski. I want to experience it. And we want to encourage everyone to be a part of it. But I want to know, Ms. Coy, how we can continue to support VSO, not during performance time, but all the time.
Yeah, gosh, thanks for that question. Support is more important than ever for this symphony. I don't know if you've been sort of paying attention to the performing arts landscape, but this is a very difficult time for symphony orchestras, and for the Valley Symphony, that's no exception. We are not selling any tickets. We're not doing any large concerts. So we are so lucky. I mean, we wouldn't even have a shot at a way forward right now if we weren't in such a generous, supportive, enthusiastic community that has already, turned out for the orchestra. But we're not stopping there. And if folks want to support the symphony and want to participate in the arts in this community, you can go to valleyorchestra.org. There's information there about sponsorship, about giving. Every single dollar that's contributed to the Valley Symphony is going to be funneled directly toward providing music for the whole Valley during this time.
You also mentioned, Ms. Coy, that KRGV is coming on board as a partner to help get this beautiful music out to the rest of our community.
That's right. Yeah. And that's, you know, when I say the whole valley, I mean the whole valley. And that's possible with the partnership and support of KRGV Channel 5, who will be broadcasting all of our concerts. So the concerts take place on Fridays, and KRGV will be broadcasting those concerts on Sunday morning after. So you can catch it Friday night, you know, have a little pod watch party with your friends, or Sunday matinees are going to be a thing for us this year too. So 2 chances to watch every concert.
How wonderful. And finally, Mr. Dabrowski, I'd love for you to just share with our audience any members that perhaps have not had the blessing of being in your audience, just what they have to look forward to.
They are going to look forward to healing, inspiration, transformation. Music makes us happy without single spoken or written word. This is the most universal language. Music heals us, makes us forget about all the problems, inspires us, and really truly makes us better as a human being. And we are very blessed to have this in our life, and I'm very blessed to have the audience, everybody who participates and enjoys what we love to do. So this is a transformational experience, healing experience, and inspirational experience.
Many thanks to both of you for bringing this to us. Thank you for sharing the gift of music with us. We really appreciate it. You're very special to our community, and we want to support you, and we are so looking forward to all the performances that are coming up, where we can host concerts in the privacy of our own beautiful homes. How exciting is that? Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Thank you
to
so
both
much.
of you.
Very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate. Best of luck to both of you. Be safe. And when we come back, we're going to talk about a side dish that's taking center stage. Yes, it is. We'll be right back with more Social Life.
McAllen feels different today. National emergency is changing everyday life in a place known for being social and open. But changing how we live doesn't change who we are, a community that makes the most of each day. We're still closely connected, even at a distance, working to make McAllen safer today and stronger tomorrow. Together, we'll look forward to the day when this emergency has passed and new reasons to celebrate begin. Until then, we'll make the most of McAllen.
Hello, my name is Juan Ramon Aguilar. I'm the corporate chef from Kumori Restaurants and executive chef from Mori Japanese Grill. So we're gonna make a roasted cauliflower, and to make basically you just need to boil the cauliflower around 8 to 9 minutes in the hot water with salt. Once it's blanched or pre-cooked, just take off the water, and we're gonna roast over the grill. And for season the cauliflower, we need, we made our homemade chimichurri. The difference with chimichurri is we add some shishito peppers and a little bit of wasabi, but you can make just as a traditional with celery, with parsley and olive oil and garlic. We got the green onions, flakes, salt. So our cauliflower is done. So as you can see, we got here very nice heart. And we're gonna finish just with the chimichurri, the nut butter, and the greens. So you're gonna cut on the middle, spread the cauliflower. So we're gonna add the chimichurri. Try to put the chimichurri warm. That's the nut butter. So this is a very nice touch of nutty flavor. So I'm gonna add the green onions and the microgreens. So as you can see, it's like a baby cilantro, and the flavor is very concentrated. It's very nice. And this one you need to add more salt on top. Be gentle with the salt because you're gonna need it. And this is the roast cauliflower. Enjoy.
We want to thank our special guests and especially you for joining in on the conversation. Until next time, we leave you with the art of socializing.